Almost every business has burned themselves with a bad hire. These bad hires cost the business not only from a hard cost perspective, such as wages, but also from a soft cost perspective in the form of time spent on training, lost opportunity cost, and lost business or customers. As such, businesses have been forced to innovate and establish lengthy processes to ensure that they're doing everything to ensure fit on the front end. If you've followed our hiring journey videos to this point, then you've hopefully followed the steps that we've established and laid out, or you maybe already had some of those steps in your business. Once you've completed your final interviews, you need to decide if position-specific testing is a necessity or a requirement for your company. My name's Brent. I own the Vancouver Express Employment Professionals office, and we see ourselves as HR doctors. We're here to help businesses hire better, and in our previous videos, we discussed our comprehensive job order process, the needs analysis and recruitment strategy that we take, how to write job descriptions both internally and externally, and now how to effectively manage the interview process. If you want to run the recruitment process on your own, you need to define these systems and processes to ensure that you and your team understand the path that you're going to take and the steps that you're going to follow, and ensure that steps aren't skipped along the way to make sure that candidates aren't missed. Now, in addition to developing the systems and processes that you're going to follow, you should also decide if you're going to test for fit through the process, and if so, how. Some examples are job knowledge test, cognitive ability test, personality tests, emotional intelligence test, skill assessments, and physical ability tests. Employers can give job knowledge tests to identify knowledge about the job that a candidate is applying for. For instance, if you're hiring for an accountant, you might create a job knowledge test on your internal accounting processes, testing specific job elements to help determine if the skills that the candidates have are a match for your needs. Cognitive ability tests ask questions about the mental capacity to work in a position. The questions you provide can help predict future job performance. One of the common cognitive ability tests is the General Aptitude Test, or the GAT, which highlights your ability to use logical, verbal, and numeric reasoning when you're approaching certain tasks. Personality tests can help you determine if a candidate's fit within your company and culture might lead to an increase in productivity. Test results might help you evaluate engagement levels and if a candidate might be interested in a long-term career with the organization. Some of these pre-employment personality tests that you might include could be the Caliper, the Myers-Briggs, the DISC, and the PI. Emotional intelligence tests can analyze a candidate's relationship building skills and their knowledge of emotions. Having high emotional intelligence shows how you can diffuse conflict and relieve the anxiety of a coworker if they're frustrated or disappointed. Some employers may use the Burke assessment or review a range of emotional skills to see if a candidate is a fit. A few skills that can be revealed during your emotional intelligence test include teamwork, adaptability, and empathy. Skill assessment tests can provide an overview of a candidate's soft and hard skills. Employers typically test for these skills once they're in the later stage of the hiring process to understand who they might want to hire. For example, if you were hiring a public relations coordinator position, you might administer a writing test to see how many words per minute a candidate can type, if they can write newsworthy content within a given timeline, and how well they can proofread their content before a submission. Additional skill assessment tests may require a candidate demonstrate research skills, presentation, or leadership skills to advance in the hiring process. Physical ability tests feature strength and stamina. They also reveal if a candidate is capable of performing in a position that will require physical work, like a firefighter or police officer. Testing for physical competencies add another step to the hiring process for employers so that they can reduce the chance of workplace accidents in addition to finding a qualified candidate. No matter which of these assessments you choose, I highly suggest you identify the assessments before you head down the hiring path and ensure that you benchmark your results in the organization. I recall a specific situation where we were administering testing on a client's behalf and we were rejecting every candidate as they were scoring less than 20 out of 30 on a particular test. After 5 failures in a row with great candidates, we decided to test the client, and the client happened to only score 11 out of 30 on the software test. The practical application versus the test were significantly disconnected, and we ended up revisiting with the initial candidates and helped them hire a great candidate. The moral of this story is don't test for the sake of testing. Identify the why and the importance of the test that you are benchmarking, and use your team members to complete these tests and determine how and if to utilize these tests further. And whether you partner with Express or run this process on your own, please take the time to go through these steps before moving forward with your interview process. It's so important to us that we do this for every search that we conduct. Thanks again for tuning in. If you'd like more info on Express, please visit our Facebook, our website, or our LinkedIn page, which are all linked below. And feel free to reach out with a call, text, or email and ask us any questions you have about your interview process or your next hire.